Before we get started, do we need any interpretation? Staff, you guys are okay back there? Good enough, I like that. Good enough, so we move on to 2.0, call to order, 3.0, call to order. Mr. Alvarez?
Here.
Ms. Gomez?
Here.
Mr. Macareno? Ms. Lopez?
Here.
And myself, we're all here. If we could please all stand for the flag salute. Ms. Gomez, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Yes, ready, salute.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. We move on to 4.0, adoption of the agenda. 4.1, adoption of the agenda is requested as presented. We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. Is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members, any question on this agenda? None? Call. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 5.0, consent calendar. 5.1, approval of the agenda board meeting minutes, August 27, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Motion on the floor is second. We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members, do you have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 5.2, approval of release warrant dated August 29, 2024 in the amount of $661,495.24.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. Motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez to pay the bills. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. I'm not moving too fast, am I? You got me there? Slow me down if you have to, Ms. Rosemary. 5.3, approval to attend ACSA Superintendent Academy at Tulare County Office of Education in Visalia, California, September 20 to 21st, 2024, October 11th through 12th, 2024, December 13th through the 14th, 2024, January 10th to the 11th, 2025, February 21st through 22nd, 2025, March 21st to 22nd, 2025, and April 25th through 26th, 2025. We have a
Second.
motion on the floor
Second.
and a second. We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It carries 4-0. People to be heard. 7.1, approval of facility use request by Farm Boys 3 Wrestling Group for Farmersville High School Gym for a wrestling tournament on Sunday, October 6, 2024. Mr. Olson, is he here?
Yes, we have Mr. Richard Divis, who's representing Mr. Olson, Athletic Director of Farmers Unified.
Was that approved by Mr. Olson?
He's okay with it.
He's okay with it, okay.
You're gonna wrestle in
Okay.
this place.
So Coach Olson's hosted quite a few of these now. He's looking to host 2 more in October. It's their youth wrestling events, and they, as much as it is a fundraiser, it's more so just being able to bring the tournament here to Farmersville so that we can get the youth wrestling. He has, I want to say, all the way through the 4th grade and up, he has wrestlers that are out that participate in youth for free with him, and he generally makes sure that their cost of the tournament is covered as well. And both dates do not conflict with the athletic schedule. We do have a volleyball tournament on the 5th, I think, that's Saturday, but he's already said that they'll come in early Sunday morning and they'll set up for the tournament on Sunday morning, so there won't be any conflict there.
Okay. Board members have any questions?
Nope.
Ms. Gomez?
No questions.
Ms. Lopez?
No questions.
Are they charging for this tournament?
Yes.
Yeah, they do charge a gate fee and for the wrestler entry.
Okay.
My motion would be to waive the facility, but not the custodial fees.
Is that a formal motion, Ms. Lopez?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Are you okay with that, Mr.?
I believe that's what has been done in the past, so,
Okay.
yeah.
That being said, Ms. Lopez has moved to waive the facility fees, correct? And pay the custodian fee. Ms. Gomez second that, is that correct? That being said, any more questions, board members? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The second thing is the same thing.
Same thing?
The second one, same thing, just different date.
Different day. Motion the same?
Motion to waive the facility fee
Yes.
and charge for the custodian fee.
Yes.
That's in a more,
Second.
motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Board members, do you understand this? Do you have any other questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. Thank you. We go to public comments. Members of the public may address the board on any agenda item or other item of interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board before and during the governing board consideration of the item. The board is not able to discuss or take action on any item not appearing on the agenda pursuant to board policy. The board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. Please begin your comments by stating your name. Superintendent Mendez.
Yeah, the board asks that during public comment, everyone be respectful of the speakers. Members of the public shall not interrupt or interject while other person or persons is giving the public comment. During public comment, there shall be no use of foul language. Should a member of the public have a concern about a specific employee, we ask that you direct those concerns to the superintendent after this meeting so that the concerns can be handled through the proper procedures. Please do not use employee or student names during public comment. Ms. Rosemary, do we have any comments? Any
At this
words?
time, anybody have any comments at this time? None whatsoever? Thank you. I do have one. It's not really a comment, it's like a congratulations to our football team Friday night for their first victory against Tranquility. Fantastic. How did our volleyball team do? And also congratulations to the cross-country team. They did well. They performed well. How did our volleyball team do?
Right now.
Okay, and
Girls golf finished second in the league, their highest finish ever yesterday.
fantastic. And we had our first water polo, correct?
We have not,
Oh, we didn't.
we're a couple of girls short.
Oh, okay. Well, that being said, congratulations to all the teams. Superintendent.
Well, good evening. I want to take this time again and every time that we're up here to thank our administrators, teachers, and staff for all their planning and efforts to guarantee Farmersville students were provided with effective daily instruction and for ensuring that every student is presented with opportunities to learn. This evening, over 80 Farmersville Junior High and high school students, along with 8 chaperones, and let me correct that, 10 chaperones, traveled to Visalia Convention Center for the annual College Night. The event promises to be a dynamic gathering where students will have the opportunity to explore a wide array of higher education options, participate in various informational sessions, and gather essential information for their future academic endeavors. Also, we're very excited to continue our collaboration with the City of Farmersville to address and meet the diverse needs of all Farmersville families. Our ongoing efforts will involve regular meetings with the mayor, city managers, and city board members to ensure that our initiatives are well aligned with the community's priorities. By working together, we aim to enhance the quality of life for all residents and drive positive, impactful changes in our community. We look forward to continuing this productive partnership and exploring new opportunities for collaboration in the future. To our Farmersville Unified team, continue to be the amazing leaders and champions that students, guardians, and staff can count on. Our Farmersville families are extremely blessed to have you as their academic partners. And now I say this with a huge smile. Great things are definitely happening. And I look out to our administrators, our staff, and other parents and family members that are present. You know, great things are happening, and it all belongs to the efforts that you are doing. And Farmersville up.
Did you know that Mr. Schulte is the new city manager?
He's the gentleman, so yes, Mr. Schulte, the new city manager, also the city's attorney, is the gentleman that I met with. I also met with Ms. Tina Hernandez, which was the mayor. So we discussed a lot of different ways that Farmersville Unified School District and the city of Farmersville can collaborate. So this is gonna be an ongoing two by two. But the idea is that we are the two organizations here in Farmersville that guaranteed we serve every single community and constituent. So we're very excited for the future of Farmersville. for
And
the present and future of Farmersville.
And if you don't mind, I just want to add one more other things. I know I congratulated the teams that have been participating in the sports, but I also want to congratulate the staff. We have started a good year. I've had nothing but positive comments from everybody. So, and that's a plus, that really is, because we have to move forward with this, and we have to bring this community together and have people come to us. And again, congratulations, and thank you. Thank you so very much. Moving on, 10.0 K-8 issues. 10.1, approved to Save the Children mandatory training meeting on November 5th through the 8th, 2024. 2024 NAEYC Annual Conference Expos in Anaheim, California.
Move.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 10.2, approval of donation of Snowden ASB account. We have a motion on the floor. And a second, we have a motion by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, carries 4-0. 10.3, approval of SICON contract for grade 5th and grade 6. A motion on the floor.
Second with the, I do have a question.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, and we have a question by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
You go ahead, ma'am.
The teachers already know which groups are going when for sixth grade? Okay. My son's in sixth grade, so I'm excited. Okay, thank you. That's it, second.
Any other questions? Board members, if not, we do have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All approve? That's approved, 4-0. Thank you. 10.4, approval of what, Cornwood Professional Development. Move. We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 10.5, approval of IXL core curriculum.
Motion.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, it carries 4-0. 11.1, approval. 11.0, high school issues. 11.1, approval of CTE conference at Tulare County Office of Education, September 19, 2024 in Visalia.
Motion.
We have a motion on the floor. And a second, we have a motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 11.2, approval of trade days at Porterville Fairgrounds at Porterville, California. We have a motion on the floor. We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members, do you have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 11.3, approval SAB athletic fundraiser Farmersville High School.
Move.
A motion on the floor.
I was disappointed that there was no toilet paper listed this year.
We need a second before you start complaining about the toilet paper.
Second.
You have a second? Now, do you have a complaint about the toilet paper?
No.
No? We do have a motion on the floor and a second. Motion by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Board members have any other questions besides the question that was brought up? If not, all in favor say aye. All opposed, that carries 4-0 with the toilet paper. We go to 11.4, approval of donation of Alvarez Air One LLC for Farmersville Athletic Department.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct? Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any
Abstain.
abstaining?
Yeah.
We go 3-0-1 with Mr. Alvarez abstaining. 15.5, approval of donation from Everest Air to Farmersville Athletic Department.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor. And a second, we have a motion by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Board members have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Abstain.
Carries 301 with Mr. Alvarez abstaining. 11.6, approval of donation by John Alvarez to Farmersville Athletic Department.
Move.
Motion on the floor, and a second. We have a motion by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct? Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any
Abstain.
abstentions? We have a 301 with Mr. Alvarez abstaining. 11.7, approval of Sequoia Sectional Chapter Leadership Conference on September 24th, 2024 in Porterville.
Motion.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. Motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, a second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yeah.
Board members, do you have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 11.8, approval of Key Club DCM on September 14, 2024 at Plaza Park.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yeah.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. Ms. Rosemary, are you right with me here, girl? Thank you. We move on to 12.0, curriculum. Approval for CCLA moving forward. Accelerating Student Learning Leadership Support, August 30th, 2024. January 22nd, 2025. Network, September 12th, 2024. November 14th, 2024. And February 13th, 2025. April 10th, 2025. Tico Doe Avenue Complex, Visalia.
Motion.
We have a motion on the floor, and we have a second, is that correct?
Yes.
We have a motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct? Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It carries 4-0. 12.2, approval memorandum of understanding with Food Links, Tulare County.
Move.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members, do you have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 12.3, approval California College Guidance Initiative Data Sharing and Service Partnership Agreement.
Motion.
Motion on the floor. Was that a second or was that a mumble?
Ms. Gomez, second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez and a mumble second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 12.4, approval memorandum of understanding with Family Healthcare Network.
Move.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members, do you have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. Move on to 13.0, personnel. Thirteen point one, approval of certificated personnel, item 13.1.1.
Motion.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 13.2, approval of classified personnel, 13.2.1 through item 13.2.5.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 13.3, approval of extracurriculum activity, coaching position, item 13.3.1 through item 13.3.6.
Move.
Motion on the floor. So a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any question on this item? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 13.4, personnel action report, information only. Board members have any question on this? If not, we move on to next item, that being 13.5. This is the approval of superintendent employee contract with Manuel Mendez effective August 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027, including salary schedule and adjustment of pay for interim superintendent service between June 28th, 2024 through July 31st, 2024.
Motion.
I need to read this before we motion on that.
Go ahead.
The main items on this employment contract for the superintendent includes, one, a one-time 5% increase to Mr. Manuel Mendez' current rate of pay as assistant superintendent for the period of June 28th through July 31st, 2024, as payment for the interim superintendent during that same period. Number two, employment of Mr. Mendez as superintendent effective August 1st, 2024 for an initial 3 years item through June 30th, 2027. Number three, the superintendent annual pay salary will be $218,000 per year, step one of the superintendent salary schedule with an annual step increase. Four, additional compensation and benefits are listed, including but not limited to health, welfare benefits, life insurance, longevity pay, personnel association dues, membership in a community service club. Five, during the first 18 months of employment, the Board of Superintendent may retain mentoring and coaching services with an outside consultant on items or conditions to be determined by the board. Six, written amendments or permits termination provision that allows the board to terminate the contract within the cause. That being said, board members, do we have a motion to accept the contract?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions on this item at this time? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. We move to 14.0, board services. 14.1, board members' health insurance, travel, and conference stipend. I requested to put this on the agenda for the reason being because of our budget. And just to, as we all know, you know, we're kind of tight on our belt right now as far as the budget goes and so forth. So this thing was brought up years back, and the reason I was one of the people, the person that actually brought to them for the reason being that I didn't want board members to take advantage of trying to go to every little conference, so forth, on the district dime. I don't want that to happen. And that's the reason we put this together. We did come up with 3 items that we figured out that we wanted to do during that time. One is having a stipend, in which by California law, we are entitled to have a stipend if we want. But over the years that I've been on the board, no board members on this board has ever taken the stipend. Second, we also included the insurance, if they wanted the insurance, in which the district would pay for the insurance. Third of all is conference money. Either one of the 3. The conference money was established at $9,000, in which the board can reduce it or leave it as is. That conference money, if the board wishes to have, with the purpose of being for any conference, any training, anything that they wanted to do with that. Once that is dissolved, you don't go to any more conferences. So you have to either pick 1, 2, or 3. Fourth of all, we also talked about allowing board members to go ahead, any board member to attend CLSBA, for the reason being because that's an important conference for board members in the state of California. And we allow that to happen once a year. That's just a bonus that we threw in there. That being said, board members, do you guys have any questions on this?
I have, not an actual question. I know that we did have that discussion, and I guess it never, was official, that, even though the insurance is taken, you can attend one conference. Somehow we didn't find it in any of the minutes, but we do need to make sure that, whatever we decide, it does get updated on the board policy, because the board policy doesn't have any of this, that we've talked about.
Ms. Gomez, you have anything on this?
No, sir.
Mr. Alvarez?
No, just clarification. So
Go ahead.
you say the insurance is covered, yet a portion is paid. So in other words, you pay for insurance, the portion that's needed to be paid. I know we discussed on attending one conference perhaps, which is fine. So I don't expect not to pay for insurance, right? I've been paying for insurance. But if we agree that you can pay for your insurance and then get one conference, I think that's what we discussed. I'm good with that, okay? But yeah, multiple conferences I'm not good with that.
Was what?
Multiple conferences, 2 or 3 conferences a year, I'm not good with that.
Okay, is that pertaining to the $9,000 for the conference?
Well,
No,
No,
I think
no.
we're talking about stipend, which nobody has taken,
Right.
conference of 9,000 max, no more than that, or training. And then the third option would be one conference and insurance. We pay our, our portion of the insurance, but you get insurance also.
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So if we're making,
The district pays a premium, if we want above the premium, we pay the extra.
we pay the,
Or
we
did
pay the
you,
premium and they, what's it called? They call it premium?
whichever plan,
different plan, right? Yeah,
okay,
so.
that's what I meant, I
Okay,
guess I was
yeah.
wrong. Just came out wrong, I'm sorry.
Whatever the employee pays, that's what we pay also.
Correct, if you want the Cadillac, you pay for the
Yeah,
Cadillac.
yeah.
Okay,
So with the understanding then, you get to attend one conference a year. Is that correct, Mr. President?
if you go without the conference pay, you attend one conference, and that'll be CLSBA.
CLSBA or?
CSBA,
Or either one?
CSBA.
either one.
One conference.
One
One
conference,
conference,
correct.
yeah, which is fine.
One conference
But
with
if you
the insurance.
choose to go with the 9,000, then you can select whatever conference you want to go to.
Yeah,
But also understand that you don't get the insurance and you don't get the stipend.
yeah, understand.
That understood? You understand that, Ms. Gilman?
I don't take the insurance, so I'm good.
Okay. The Masters of Government comes out of that conference money as well, correct.
Yeah,
And the reason I want to come up with that at this time is because, again, it's costly, don't get me wrong, to go to conference, it is.
yeah,
And if all 5 board members go to a conference, it's costly. So that's why I want to try to limit it to where, let's try to tighten up the belt a little bit and, and also help out our budget. And we have to help it out as well as being board members. So therefore, I wanted to come up with this to make everybody aware. This is what we want to do, and that's why it's open discussion and, and that's why,
I know many, many years, some of us don't go to conference at all in a year. I mean, it's just, I think that as a president coming in or something like that, I think you should go, right, with your team, right? But we've been to conferences, so it's like, we don't need to go all of them, and if we go every 2 years or 3 years,
right,
that's fine.
right, no, I got you.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, I do have a question. Is the 9,000 for all of us in total 9,000, or is that for?
Per person.
Per person.
Yeah, so you can go to
If that's what you
several
want.
conferences if you want. And then your Masters of Governance, which is 3 or 4 sessions,
Right.
right?
And that's expensive as
weekend
well, so-
sessions, so yeah,
All that will be tied into that one.
yeah.
Thank you for bringing this.
So I'm going to make the motion that we go with what we just talked about, which is 1, either a stipend, 2, $9,000 conference budget and training, 3, insurance, and 1 conference.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah,
So just to clarify, one of the three, stipend, insurance, or a $9,000 conference, with the option of the CSBA or CSLB once a year. And then our homework, Rosemary, would be to make sure that's updated on board policy.
And,
Mhm.
yeah. And then everyone can choose what they want of the three.
Right.
And we have enough time to do that, correct? Okay.
The conference is this coming year are in Hawaii, so it might be.
So you're entitled to go to that one
Early,
conference?
Stay late, you know, if it is a week before. I don't know.
That being said, is that your motion, Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
I second that.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. To clarify on the motion that Mrs. Lopez is to either choose one of the three, either one a stipend, in which that will be something that we need to look into how much that is. I believe it's, yeah, 7,000, 8,000, something like that a month or something like that. No, I'm joking.
$240.
Yeah, it's 240.
And you have to make so much of the meetings. If
Correct.
you're under
It's
the
all
rate, 250.
specified, correct. It's all specified on there. 2, a conference or budget training of a 9,000. 3, insurance plus 1 conference. Is that correct, Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Is that correct, Mr. Alvarez?
Yeah.
That being said, board members, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 4.2, consideration of any item any member of the board wishes to have on the future agenda to provide a written update. Mr. Alvarez,
You know, not at this time.
Ms. Gomez, Ms. Lopez.
Just an update to make sure we're getting all our construction work done and out of the way.
Did you get that, Superintendent Mendez?
Yes, sir.
And I don't have nothing at this time, thank you. We move on to business service, 15.1, approval American Fertility Service Agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. I got spikes there. 15.2, adoption of resolution 03-09-10-24, establishing the annual appropriated limited,
Appropriations limits.
appropriation limit, thank you, for 2023-24, and the estimated appropriation limit for 2024-2025.
Move.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. 15.3, presentation of annual financial report.
Yes, board and members of our community, we do have Mr. Edgardo Monroy, Chief Business Officer, presenting our unaudited actuals report.
Good evening, board members. This is an informational presentation which ties into the next agenda item that is an action item.
Looks like it's gonna be a real quick presentation, I know.
It is very brief. It is a summary of our unaudited actuals process, which, to give you a little bit of context, is a very intensive process, as you have probably seen from prior years. It takes a team effort in which both myself and Mercedes huddled for the past few days to ensure that we get this ready for you. It is a report that is due to our county office annually by September 15th. And so that is right around the corner, and here we are presenting it to you. So the unaudited actuals is a series of different documents that we populate through our year-end closing. So it includes all of our funds, including the general fund, developer fees fund, the cafeteria fund, among several others, capital building, capital outlay funds. And so our process is to go through the year-end closing, and then develop all of these forms for you that are submitted to the county office by the 15th of September. And this is a report that is used as the basis for our upcoming audit report, which typically will be completed in December and presented to you thereafter. And so this serves as that base data for the audit, which we will be starting in a couple of weeks. The overall scope of the report includes profiles of our revenues for the past year, as well as all of our expenditures, and then how we ended. So it's how we started the year with our adopted budget, which you approve annually in June, and then how we ended it after, whether we do different budget revisions throughout the year, but it's how we start and how we end. So that's what I'll present to you on the following slide. This here is a snapshot of our general fund. And so the top section you will notice is all of our revenue. And it is broken out into unrestricted revenue, restricted revenue, and then the final column on the right is the sum of both of those. And so going down by line, you see the different sources of revenue. Our main, which is the LCFF revenue, which is based and calculated on our ADA, and then per student base pay that we get, which also includes unduplicated dollars for our student population. Further down, you'll see federal revenue, other state, and then local. So for the past 4 years, on the federal side, you've heard a lot about the ESSER COVID money. That's the line that those go into, and those are going to be ending in a couple of weeks at the end of this month. State revenue, our after-school program is funded through their Expanded Learning Opportunities program, as an example. And then other local could be revenue tax that we bring in. So in total, we collected $57 million in the year 23-24. Moving on down to our expenditures. I'm going to cheat out a little bit here. First line is certificated salaries, followed by classified salaries, employee benefits, books and supplies, services, capital outlay, other outgo, and then transfer of indirect. And as you can see, our total expenditures were $53 million. We did have some contributions down below, which are involve some LCAP funding contributions that we make annually. They could include cafeteria funding as well. But I think the cafeteria is doing pretty well right now. But the bottom line is that we ended with a net increase of $3.5 million. And this is a snapshot of our fund balance. So we started the year with $23 million and ended with $26 million. And this gives you the summary of revenue and expenditures. So again, the net change was $3.5 million increase. I did mention some of the one-time funds, and this is something you have probably heard of in the past. Some of those one-time dollars that we've received over the past few years include these block grants, the Learning Recovery. We've had the Arts and Music, Prop 28, which will be ongoing, but those are new funds that we're getting. But the two that are highlighted here will be expiring in the next couple of years. And we're trying to utilize those strategically to support student services so that we have the right staffing in place. Again, that is a summary of the unaudited actuals process. I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr. Alvarez, you have any questions?
No, we're good.
Ms. Gomez?
On the grants that we have right here, this is the total that we, were given, right?
Correct.
Have the amount of what we spent or what we have left over?
I don't have that off the top, but I'm happy to report back on those to you. Yep.
Okay. Other than that, no, I don't have no questions, thank you.
Ms. Lopez?
No, thank you very much.
Ms. Moreau, I have no question. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
This time we go to 15.4, approval of 2023-2024 annual financial report.
Motion?
A motion on the floor.
Second?
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 4-0. 17.0, future meeting date, 17.1, September 24, 2024, and October 8, 2024. At this time, before we go into closed session, we're going to discuss 20.1, conference with labor negotiation, GC 54957.6. It is the intent of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designee rep, agency representative Mr. Mendez, name of the organization, FTA CSEA, and management. 20.2, public employee, discipline dismissal, release complaint, government court 54957. 20.3, we have already taken care of that, and 20.4, we don't need to discuss that because that's already have taken care of. So we will be going in for just two items, 20.1 and 20.2. At this time, we go into closed session at 7:22.
Administrators, have a good night. Thank you so much.
You ready? We go back into open session at 7:55. 21.0, action taken in closed session item. 21.1, conference with labor negotiator, GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated rep, agency designated representative Superintendent Mendez. Name of organization, FTA CSEA Management, no action taken. 21.2, public employee discipline, dismissal, release complaint, no action taken. 21.3 was already taken care of. 21.4, no discussion. We go to 22.0, adjournment at 7:56.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.